have touched the pad. Everybody in the world fused. Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Apologies, it's been so long since I last got back to the camera. But we're here now and I've got lots of work to do today. Unfortunately, the workshop wall, 2/3 of it is still there, but I'm doing some more work this afternoon, which will get me one step closer to getting that wall taken out. Now, I started this YouTube channel about 3.5 years ago, just over that actually, and it feels a very, very long time ago. And there's a lot more grey hairs going on now, so you know, lots of work going into it. And when I first started the channel, I picked up my main sort of sponsor, support, call them what you like, which is of course Teng Tools. And ISL Industrial, based down at East Tamaki, they came to me, you know, pretty much at the start and said, look, we want to be able to help. What can we do? And since then, they have provided me, well, you know, heaps and heaps of tools. The shelving that's over on the other side, very expensive, very good quality shelving, and lots of assistance, you know, even hand cleaner and gloves, and you name it. They've been really, really good, and we have an excellent working relationship. And then a company called Pico Industries, Pico Technology, there we are, look. They popped in and they said, hey Andy, you're using the wrong scope for your automotive diagnostics. I was doing some work, I think at the time, on the MR2, trying to find, ultimately it was an ECU fault. Spoiler alert, sorry, you need to watch the video if you've not seen it, or 7 video series it was. And they emailed me, Pico Mike, and he said, look Andy, you've got the wrong scope, you should be using the automotive scope. And I said, look Mike, I just can't afford it. They're, you know, I appreciate that they're really good bits of kit, but I just don't have the money for that. I'm a poor lecturer, you know, as I was at the time. And he said, look, don't worry, we'll send you one. In fact, we'll send you 2. And they did. They sent me about 9,000 New Zealand dollars worth of equipment, which I have been using extensively since then. And I've learned a lot more about using the scope and you know, what known good waveforms should look like. And I do diagnostics on the scope, probably using the scope probably once a fortnight, you know, during my day job and at home here in the workshop. Unfortunately, many of those diagnostics involve a particular brand of vehicle that I cannot, I'm contracted through my day job not to show on the videos. So I can't include that kind of stuff in my videos, so I don't bother to film it, which is a real shame because some of those diagnostics are very, very cool and some really oddball kind of faults. But anyway, moving on. I got contacted by, like I say, Jared Roscoe from Trosco Limited. They are the New Zealand distributors for, wait for it, it's on the shirt, Forch. Now, I had no idea who Forch was. I'd never heard of them. And he said, oh, well, you know, they make basically, you know, lubricants, sprays, thread lock, quite a range of stuff. And he said, come on down to my warehouse and I've got a box for you. So I did. I went down and Jared gave me a great big box full of various bits and pieces. So I thought I'd go through it with you and see what goodies we've got, because hopefully we're going to start to see these in use in the next few videos. Right. He also gave me, just while we're on, you know we do CAD design here in the Andy Mechanic Workshop, and I stole that idea from Colin Furs. Well, we now have a huge pad that we can use down on the bench for doing various drawings and bits and pieces, because sometimes if we're doing a you know, wiring fault diagnostic, it's good to draw out the wiring diagram. If we're working on a gearbox and working out the various ratios through each gear, then we need to do calculations, we need stuff to write on. And normally I use cardboard, get it, CAD, cardboard aided design, cheers Colin. But this time round, or in the future, we're going to be using those pads, so that'd be great. Well, you know, I like the cardboard, I must admit. Maybe we'll bring some cardboard back at some point. And one last thing, going off camera, sorry. One last thing, I got given by Jared a nice calendar. And that gave me an idea, but that's for a whole nother video, which will be happening later on today. So watch out for that one. Oh, Jared also gave me some gloves. That's the part number there, look. And these gloves are brilliant. First of all, they're orange, so you can't lose your hands. Very helpful. And if you don't know which is left and right, you could use one of his gloves and a black glove, and then your orange hand could be your right hand and the black glove could be your left hand. I'm joking. But no, seriously, these are actually really good. I've worn them for the last few weeks. I've done undersealing in them, you know, maintenance work, been on the tools. Yes, of course, they do eventually fail. They get ripped and fall apart. I did do an oil filter clean, you know, in the filter cleaner, and then reapply the oil. And that's usually a really good test for gloves, is they quite often lose their elasticity, good word for a Saturday morning, when you use them. Then they just fall apart. It sort of reacts with the material that the gloves are made from. These were perfect. They had no effect on them whatsoever. So that's a big plus for me, because I get through loads of the old black ones when I'm doing things like air filters and even undersealing as well. It seems to affect the material. So if you're after some gloves and you can see these somewhere, get them, because they're great. No idea on price. Okay, let's take a little look in that box. Here we go. Geez, so much stuff. Right, well, we'll dig our way in. So we've got, my word, looks like paint to me. Yes, there we go. Look, there is some English on there. Paint black satin gloss. Well, I do use paint now and again, so we'll give that a go at some point. That looks like paint as well. Look, this one is the gloss, black gloss. So perfect. Had no idea they did paint. Now, what else have we got here? Ah, brake cleaner. Fantastic. This actually, the product brake cleaner, was the whole reason why Jared got in contact to start off with, because I did a video where I was using a different brand of brake cleaner, and to be perfectly honest, I wasn't very happy. And he said, well, you need to try the Forch stuff because it's brilliant. I have used a bit of it already, and it is brilliant, and it's under huge pressure. I mean, I can't even put any kind of an indent on the tin, so there must be quite a bit of pressure in there. Good job. Okay, what else have we got? Let's do all the cans first. Okay, we've got silicone spray. I completely ran out of this, so that'll be very useful. We'll give that a try sometime. What else have we got in here? Ah, right. Oh, where is it? RTV silicone black sealer. So for making up gaskets and bits and pieces on engines. So I do assemble the odd engine. So pretty good. I do tend to use a different brand at the moment, which I do like. So we'll give this a go and see if it's any better. We'll prove the promise. Now, what else have we got? Oh, rust off for undoing basically nuts and bolts and that kind of stuff that have seized up. So that will be really useful. I've got lots and lots of motorcycles coming in shortly, which will require this kind of product. So we'll be giving that a really good test. Now then, what else have we got? Trying to run through this pretty quickly. Black Magic, oh my word. Synthetic graphite-based rust remover. Highly durable graphite lubricating film. Wow, fast acting with high capillary action. That means it'll work its way in through the threads and actually do some work. Resistant to extreme pressures. Fantastic. Well, that looks like, to me, it's an upgrade to that. So that's pretty much the basic stuff. Forgive me, Jared, if I'm wrong, but that looks like the basic stuff. This is the magic stuff. Perfect. Okay, what else have we got? Some more tins. Oh, look, some more brake cleaner. Fantastic, because I use quite a lot of that. And some more brake cleaner. Perfect. 3 tins of brake cleaner. Now, we've got here, geez. I did do a little bit of German when I was at school, but I was asleep for most of the lessons, so I wasn't very good at it. Liquescent adhesive grease. Oh, spray grease, basically, we've got in there. And again, I use a lot of this on those Surf Club Vikings that I service, the ROVs, because, you know, it helps protect all the hinges and bits and pieces, pivot points, the deck and stuff when it tips. Very useful, so we'll give that a go. The brand that I currently use is a CRC brand, so we'll, fingers crossed, this is going to work even better. The CRC one does actually react with the underseal that we put on, so maybe this won't, which will be even better. Cool. Okay, working our way down the box, we've got some orange multi-gasket. Back in the UK, you used to be able to get the blue and the orange Halomar gasket stuff. So I imagine it's similar to that, but obviously going to be better quality. And you can see there on the image there where they'll be making a gasket up. I got taught how to make gaskets using a hammer and gasket paper, and I do that quite often. This is usually a last resort for me, so when the time comes, we'll give it a go. Now, the box is getting a little bit empty. Let's have a look. Let's do these first. Okay, so we've got some thread lock. What's it say? Bearing. Oh, this is the bearing lock green. Super solidity. Super fast bush and bearing fastener, high strength. So great for mounting bushes and so on in casings, especially if they're a little bit loose, if it's an old casing. So we've got that one. We've got, now this is your thread lock blue, super fast, medium solidity, can be disassembled. So that's when you have to pull the thing, apart again in the future. And this one will be the red, I imagine. Yeah, there we go. Look, so we've got the thread lock red, which is the permanent. They call it super fast, high strength, hard to disassemble. So really that's more for studs, things that you don't want to come out again, really. Cool. Okay, what else have we got? Not a lot. Not a lot left. Right. We have, now these are pretty cool. We've got turbo power screw fix. Very interesting. You might say, what the hell is that? And that's exactly what I said when Jared showed me. And he showed me a little video. And he said, look, I was watching a video when you pulled apart that Suzuki ATV engine and found the transmission faults, which we've still got to do a video on the rest of it. And he said, one of your machine screws rounded off on its head, and then you had to use an alternative method to get rid of it. He said, this stuff, you could have cleaned up the head with some brake cleaner and put a few drops of this in, and it makes your screwdriver, you can see there, look, it makes your screwdriver bite into the head of the screw and allows you to undo the screw. So I'm really intrigued to see how well this works. I mean, obviously on the video that he showed me, it looked like it was just pure magic out of a bottle, but we need to give it a test to see if it's going to work. So, in a future video, there will be this. Pretty cool, eh? If it works, it'd be fantastic. And lastly, we've got some super glue. Now, I'm actually quite dangerous with super glue. Normally, I end up gluing fingers and eyelids and all sorts of things shut when I use super glue. So I'll be very, very careful using this because, again, it's probably pretty damn good super glue. So, again, one day, when we need to use it, we'll have it and we'll see if it works any good. Right, that's it. Oh, I've got a cool cardboard box. Brilliant job. So there you go. We got a stack of goodies from Jared down at, hang on, I need my little crib sheet. Sorry, I do. It's Trosco Limited. They're based in East Tamaki in Auckland, and they are the sole importers and have the rights to distribute the Forch products. And the logo looks just like that one. That's pretty cool on the shirt, doesn't it? Happy with that. And hopefully we can put this whole range of products to the test. And the one that I'm really interested in, which is what was the catalyst for this whole assistance by this company, very kindly I must admit, was the brake cleaner. So we're going to put that to the test. Already, the stuff I've used it on already, bloody good. Very, very happy with that. Okay, well, this is just really a short video to say thank you to all the three main sponsors to, sponsors is the wrong word, isn't it, really? I think support. The three companies that provide support, major support to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. It really helps dramatically for me to do what I do here in the workshop, because running a workshop, if you've ever been in charge, been a service manager, the running costs of a workshop are actually very, very high. Not just labour and so on, but you've got to buy in all the products. The consumables, workshop consumables, can really start to add up. And it's very important that you pass on those costs to your customers, and you have a little part on the invoice that says workshop consumables. And I normally charge anything from like $20 to $40, depending on how big the job is, and that helps to cover the costs of, especially PPE nowadays as well. You need eye protection. Doesn't last forever. They get scratched. Need to replace them. Obviously you got your gloves. You've got to wear overalls, or sometimes when I'm undersealing the Vikings, I have to wear a full disposable overall, because you just get blathered. It's horrible stuff to apply. Very, very good product from 3M, but it's just it does get everywhere. You've got to be well prepared. Anyway, so huge thanks to Forch and Jared and Trosco Limited New Zealand. Really, really grateful. But of course, not forgetting our current existing support companies. We've got obviously Teng and Pico, all the way from the UK. So it's really good to have this kind of global support for such a small, tiny, insignificant YouTube channel. Who knows? One day it might grow up and be huge. Who knows? Anyway, that's about it. I do ramble on. If you enjoyed this video and you want to make sure you don't miss any future ones, then where is it going to be? It's going to be over there, I think it is. You can tell when I've not done a video for a while, can't you? Click on the subscribe button or ring the bell, and our friends at YouTube will send you an email as and when I make any new videos. And there's usually, on average, okay, I'll do the average over the last 3.5 years. There's usually about 3 videos a week. Recently, yeah, probably 1 in the last 3 to 4 weeks. It's been pretty thin on the ground, and I am sorry. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals. My email address is also down in the description, and you can donate through Patreon. There's a link again on the home page, and you'll also be able to read on the Patreon page all about the channel, the history, where it came from, why I actually built the channel, and of course, profiles on all the tool girls that have been through and given me a hand as an assistant here in the workshop. And there is now, this is the first video I think that I'm actually going to put it on, and I'll do a separate video to it. There is a PayPal icon on the home page. Now, I did a video not too long ago, which was a live stream, and lots and lots of people made donations, which I was blown away by. I really was. But then I saw what came through at my end, the actual payments that went into my, that went onto the earnings from the channel, because the channel does earn a little bit. And I'm sorry to say, it turned out whatever the pledge was, only about half finally filters through to the creator, which I had no idea. I'd never had any pledges like that before, so it was a bit of an eye-opener. And of course, YouTube take their chunk and other bits go wherever, maybe currency conversion and that kind of thing. And I thought, well, there has to be a better way, because ultimately you're not donating money to YouTube. The idea is to not donate it to the Andy Mechanic channel. So I did a bit of research, and it seems to be quite common practice now on YouTube for creators to have a PayPal button on their homepage, just on the main banner. You can see it in the bottom right hand corner, and you can click on that, and then you can donate whatever you want, and the vast majority of that will then come through to the creator. So whether it's for me or for any other YouTube creators, that's probably the best way to go if you want to support them in the best, most viable way possible, Anyway, that's it from me. I've got lots more videos to make. Until next time, cheers, over and out. And we get the flip again.
Oh!
Really?